Good morning and welcome to Money Matters, proudly brought to you by Anthony Partners.
Good morning, everyone. And yes, once again, we're coming to you with some good talks about finances.
My name is Angie Samuel, Director of Anthony Partners. With me is my business partner, Erika Slinger. And today we will be talking to you about budget-wise, how to become financially savvy, Erika.
Yes. Last week we spoke about debt, the emotional stress that goes with it. Today we're going to tackle the budget.
The B word, the budget. So yes, people, what is a budget? A budget is a layout of your monthly income versus your monthly necessary household expenses. In other words, your take-home money. And when we say your take-home money, we're not looking at the salary slip, no? That is the beautiful picture. We're talking about the money that reflects into your bank account versus what you spend on needs to get through the month. And I'm emphasizing on needs, and we will get to that in a minute. Such as your bonds, your rent, your groceries, water, electricity, your transport, your policies, airtime, data. And like I said, the emphasis is on needs, not wants. And the wants is what we will still get to, because that is where we need to separate people, and that is what the ultimate test is on survival these days, Erika. The needs versus the wants, because more so than often, the wants overshadow the needs. Yes. So yes, people, that in a nutshell is what a budget is. And the importance of a budget is to determine, what do you spend more? Do you spend more on wants or do you spend more on needs? And if you need to break the cycle. Now this is where most people don't want to tap in, because that requires you to be honest with yourself, Erika. Okay? Because sometimes, do you remember how we always used to, our parents used to go to the shop with a list? Or if they sent you to the shop, they would send you with a list and the exact money. Yes? These days you can't go with the exact money to the shop. But you still go to the shop with a list, people. Because that was what they called back in the day the budget. If you think about it carefully, that is what they called back in the day the budget. Because on that list was the needs,
Not the wants. You went for the exact money, you did only what you wanted, or rather what you needed.
And then you come on the top of you have some change, Erika. And you ask them, why can I have some change?
These days, Angie,
That is the change.
It's difficult. And this is what we need to talk about, because at the end of the day, there's so many things that we would want, that we would like to have. But our budget does not hold us that it should. It doesn't. So we need to start having that mindset change. We need to become disciplined, and like Angie had said earlier, we need to be honest with ourselves. Because if we're honest with ourselves, we'll know that we've either used more than what we should, or if we were able to at all afford it at the end of the day.
Yes, people, it's one thing to draft a budget. It's one thing to look at your income and then say, okay, this is what I spend on rent per month, this is what I spend on groceries per month. And let's be real, with the inflated cost of living these days, you can't exactly say I spend 3,500 rand on groceries per month. That alone is meat, You can't say I spend exactly 1,500 rand on transport a month. Waar is die kinders se crash transport nou? Waar is die kinders se school transport nou? Waar is die kinders se school fees nou? Because let's be honest, that is a need too. Ons kinders, it's essentials. Our children needs to be educated, so that needs to be part and parcel of your budget, people. Electricity has also increased, people. It's shameless how much you get units on how much you spend. It is, but we will get to the money saving tips in a bit, people. But what I want to say is, it is all good and well to draft a budget, but if you're not going to be honest with yourself and be truthful to yourself on what exactly it is that you do spend,
Yes.
and this is where you have to go to. Draft your budget. This is your income. This is what you spend on your essentials per month. And then you go face the truth, people. Nobody else needs to know about this. You go look at your bank statements. And Erica always calls it the Bible. Go look at your bank statements and go cross-reference. Is it that I spend 3,500 Rand, for example, on groceries per month? Does my bank statement correspond with that? Because ons almal swipe ons deesdae, ons almal tap. Ons gebruik nie meer cash nie. So that bank statement will say, is it that I shopped about 3,500 Rands worth of groceries per month? Did I spend 1,500 worth on transportation or fuel per month? You know, did I spend 1,600 on electricity per month?
Yes.
You know, those kind of things. Go cross-reference your budget versus your bank statement. Your needs first and foremostly. And then you go look at what else did you spend on that wasn't a need, but was a want. And was it really necessary for you to have spent money on that want? Was it really essential, people? And this is where the cold hard truths come in. This is what you need to then ask yourself and sit and reflect and question upon. Am I spending unnecessarily?
Am I overspending?
Am I overspending? Am I spending more on wants as opposed to needs? Do I need to break the cycle? Do I need to discipline myself next month? Do I need to go back to my budget and say, this is what I need to spend according to my budget because it's the essential, it's the needs. And only then, when there is still money left, we call it the surplus, can I afford the wants. And not all of the wants, people. Let's set realistic goals for ourselves. Okay? Can I afford one want per month?
Yes.
That's within our budget. Within the means of our budget at the end of the day.
100%. It's all about breaking things down. My apologies. When it comes to, I'm so sorry, there's a problem, but when it comes to a budget, you've got to break things down so completely. As something as simple as a loaf of bread. There's 31 days in a month. So if you know that your family uses one loaf of bread, you've got to take that loaf of bread and say 31 times whatever that bread costs. That's going to give you an indication. Because when it comes to groceries, you know, people put down an amount for groceries, and sometimes I think people just put it down because it's a number and they assume. And this is the good thing of going to the bank statement, looking at that. But the one thing that you don't do is your bread. You put a bread in the middle. If you're buying the 6 packs, if you're buying the sachets, you know what you use and how long you use it. So that becomes part of your groceries, people. Not just what you spend at ShopRite, Pick n Pay, Woolworths, wherever you shop. Remember to put those things in because you'll see that you run out of money and you can't understand because I budgeted for 3,500, I budgeted for 2,500 groceries, but how is it that I don't? Because we didn't break it down. You have to break down every little bit because every rand, every cent counts toward your budget. I want to go into the budget. You know, water and electricity, everything has increased. Now we know people, your budget changes every 3 months. Electricity hasn't hiked every 3 months. So automatically what I spent 3 months ago is not going to be the same. It's come July, we're going to have an increase, right? Because it's April, it's July, it's September, October. It happens. So what do we do? So we've got to make the provisions for it. And sometimes it's difficult. And once again, it goes back to the bank statement, it goes back to the budget, and it goes back to the honesty. Then I want to tap into policies, people. You know, it is an essential thing, it's a need. We do not have to have 3, 4, 5, 6 policies
Of the same nature.
of the same nature. Yes, you get your study, you get your funeral, you get your life, all of those things. But is it necessary to have 3 funeral policies? Because that is what we have seen on our clients' bank statements, on their Sunday advice slips. Because at the end of the day, you do not need all of those. You can make do with that money. You do not have to have all of those things. And this is the thing people, we think the more the better. But at the end of the day, it takes from us now. And what do we do then? So we need to speak about these things. But we need to be honest with ourselves. Whatever you can do, it's present.
Now, true it is. Erica, then I also want to say with reference to the budget, like we said, make provision for the bread, the bologna, the cheese, the butter, the milk. Let's be real. Within our communities, ons vat daai hoender, daai bossies, daai bolognies, ons vat dit op die boekies tot einde van die maand toe. You need to make provision for that within your monthly budget as well, people. That is an essential expense per month. So do make provision for that as well, because that falls part and parcel of your groceries, okay, your food supply at the end of the day. So do make provision for that as well. Or if you do take a hamper per month, make provision for the hamper expense per month, people. Okay, do not shy away from it. This is no longer, again, and I keep saying it here, people are going to get bored of me saying it, it's no more about debt, it's about survival, people. It really is about survival at the end of the day. So if you do work your budget and you have consulted your bank statement and you do see that, okay, you focused on the needs, there is still money available, at the end of the day. Great for you. And if you are disciplined enough, do not unnecessarily spend it, because in the economical climate that we are, things change overnight, inflation goes up, everything goes up overnight. What I would want to encourage you to do is put that money away into a separate savings account, people. Please do. Like the other day, somebody asked me a question. So what does this interest rate mean for me? And I said, well, it means that if you have a bond, if you have a vehicle, if you have personal loans, it means that you are gonna fork out more for paying monthly on these things, but if you do have a savings, it's going to be beneficial to you, because it means that your savings per month will now climb at an interest rate of 7% per month. And our people always have this tendency to say that I don't earn enough to be able to save per month. But if we do work according to a budget, people, because that is what we do here at Anton, we work our clients' budget to the point where we incorporate what we call a savings plan per month into their monthly budget for the unforeseen. Because again, anything can happen in a month's time, in 2 months' time, in 3 months' time, like Erica says, that you did not budget for, that you did not make provision for. Then that person can go and take out of that savings pocket. We call it the savings net, the savings net, because, the law calls it the contingency fee. And what the law says, it's a 10% of your net income, but not everybody can afford to a 10% from their net income, so we need to be realistic as well. And that is why Anton specializes in tailor-made solutions. It's all about what fits your pocket at the end of the day. So with that said, and I want to come back to you as well, Erica. So we're just that was on the budget, people. So draft a realistic budget that fits you and your household at the end of the day. But with that said, there is ways to save money. Some money saving tips that we've learned over the years that me myself have personally applied, Cut on non-essentials such as, these days Wi-Fi is freely available everywhere. You walk into McDonald's, it switches on automatically. You understand what I'm saying? But these days we've got Wi-Fi at work, we've got Wi-Fi at home. There's no need for you to have Wi-Fi, airtime and data. Choose one and cut out the other two. There's something as simple as WhatsApp data. Ons almal WhatsApp these days. At the end of the day, even die besigheidsmense, hulle het nie eens 'n selfoonkontrakte nodig nie. They call on WhatsApp at the end of the day. So that small saving can make a huge impact at the end of the day. Then I want to come back to you because yes, every third month there is an increase in electricity, people. But if you look at it, it's seasonal. Okay? Here we are in the winter time. Switch from electricity to gas, people. What is your appliances that use most of electricity? It's your geyser, it's your kettle, it's your stove, you know, those type of appliances. So look at those consumables at the end of the day, and also take note of when do you use these electrical appliances. Is it during peak time? If during peak time, please use gas and not electricity. Have somebody stand by the electricity box while you switch on the stove, you switch on the geyser, and you switch on the kettle. Julle sal sien hoe verdwyn daai units. I promise you that during peak time, because during peak time is when the most electricity is being consumed by households, people. So switch to gas during peak time, and especially during winter. At the end of the day, people, that is how you will also be able to save on some money. After buying groceries, such as ingredients to make pizzas, burger and chips, to make food together with your children, you know, at home, have a family night, have a movie night, as opposed to greasy, unhealthy, expensive fast food or takeaways at the end of the day. It's two birds with one stone. You get to have family time, you get to make food together, and you get to save on takeaways, expensive takeaways at the end of the day. You know, life goes so fast these days that we hardly are, onze kinders is glued to gadgets. You know, you can hardly have a conversation with them without looking through a gadget to their face. It's just, you know, just put that gadget down. Let's do something together as a family, spending family time, something that everybody will enjoy, but that's cost saving to all of us at the end of the day. Join a Lift Club, people. Petrol has shot through the roof, but lonely elders is so baie kar op die pad. Daar is nog so baie kar op die pad with one person in it. You know?
You do not have to be shy. You know, people have this one on us, this one on. But you've got to. Put your card in your pocket and find out if you hear of anyone working in your area and living in your area. Ask them, because obviously you're going to be contributing. But at the end of the day, it's going to assist that person. Yes, in the petrol, the diesel, and it's going to help you too.
Exactly, and especially if you also take into consideration wherever you're going to go or wherever you work, apart from the petrol or the diesel, you still have to pay for parking as well. And that in itself is costly, you know. So advertise, put a poster on at your local shops, you know, for lift clubs. Join, make up a lift club, you know. Share the cost, people. And then bulk buying, you know. Try to do bulk buying every third month, people, and this is something that I still practice religiously since COVID time. Yeah, I still do that, Erika. So yeah, do bulk buying from wholesalers on products such as your dried goods, like your pastas, your non-perishables, your teas, your coffees, your toilet paper, sugar in 10 kg, not the 1 or the 2 kg, people. You know, because the 10 kg tend to last longer or stretch longer as opposed to the 1. You know, do the maths, weigh up the prices, weigh up the stores at the end of the day. You know, try to do bulk buying, because that 2 months that you don't have to buy, you can put that money away towards something that you and your family is planning for the year at the end of the day. You know, there might be a matric ball coming up, the family might be planning a family holiday at the end of the year. You know, put that away, or you might be planning on renovations to your house. There's no need for you to go make a loan by the bank. Use your own money, bulk buy, and those 2 months that you do not have to buy, save it up and put it away for the rainy day at the end of the day.
Use the labor.
Yes.
Understand how things are expensive, clothing is expensive,
Yes,
shoes, and then our kids, they want to wear the name brands. You can practically labor almost at every other shop.
Yes.
You get 3 months to buy. I've seen some places I think even have a 6-month labor. So, you know what? It's difficult package of 1,500 rand, I'm going to die for that. 1,500 rand or 2,500, 3,000. I can't do it. But that's me. I can't say the same for somebody else. But you can lay by that. Speak to the kids. Once again, we go back to that. Speak to the kids. I cannot buy it now. I'm going to lay by it for you, and in 3 months' time, you will have that package. You will have those clothing. It's so much better because just imagine you make a labor worth 1,000 rand or 2,000 rand. To give that 1,000 and 2,000 rand, it's so difficult within 1 month.
Yes.
But opposed to paying it off over 3 months, you still going to get what you wanted. You just don't have to wait for 3 months, but it's labor, it's there. So those are all little things that we need to consider, people, because at the end of the day, everybody, like we said, everybody's impacted by the current economic state. So what do? Through income, you make a provision for what is needed at a time that is convenient for you.
Definitely. And just like you lay by people, jy lay by nou al slang daai vleis en daai groceries. By einde van die jaar, start with your stamps in the beginning of the year. You know, al begin jy met 100 rand of 200 rand in die maand in. You know, but then you know, come the holiday, the December holidays, wanneer die hele familie op jou descend, you know.
Entertainment period.
Ja, jy weet mos waar die sugar houses is. Dan weet jy, jou groceries is covered vir die December holidays. Jou vleis is covered vir die December holidays. Your children's back to school stationery is covered for January when they have to go back to school. You know, so please people, start with those things, you know. Put away every month, go buy stamps every month. Or start something similar like a stokvel, you know, but just as opposed to money, start it with a way, you know, within your workplace, with a handbook club, with the people, your colleagues, within your workplace or the family members, you know, and every month somebody gets an opportunity to
purchase those,
to go purchase it, those kind of things, people. We need to be inventive and able in order to survive, you know, and to get through this month. Those are just a few of some money saving tips, people, you know, so that we can share with you, that we are doing in our personal capacity. At the end of the day, like we say, we will never advise what we haven't tried ourselves, or that we aren't doing at the end of the day on ourselves. And then we do get that there is households currently, Erica, that I can't afford to budget because ek het nie genoeg om te budget in daai tipe van goed nie. So we and apart from money saving, you know, what else is there that people can do to earn an extra at the end of the day?
Is use your skills. I'm of the opinion that if I'm good with baking or making clothes, but you know what? If we are good with our hands, if we're good with knitting, if we're good with baking, if we're good with, you know, arts and crafts, people use it, make use of your skills to earn an extra income. Don't be shy. Once again, I love to say don't be shy. Because dit is 'n skaamte wat ons weghou van vir mense vra. Because everyone we know has got family, they've got friends, we've got contact, they've got contact. Use your WhatsApp statuses, use social media, but make use of your skill to earn that extra income. Because like Angie just said, sometimes even our current income doesn't even allow for us to budget accordingly, because the money that we have, or the salary, or the wages that we are earning, it's not enough even to cover the essentials. The one thing that I know is the one thing that takes a lot out of people, most people. Let's say if you're not that happy with the train, but most people, it's the transport costs. It is out of this world, and you cannot not go to work because then you're not going to be having an income. So do the side hustle. The other thing I mentioned the other day, find companies, find businesses that are looking for agents, whether it is to sell something. Just do that because that commission that you earn is an extra income, people. We ourselves at Anton have agents that we call it our side hustle for those people that earn a commission. Why? People need the money and businesses need business.
Yes.
So it goes hand in hand. But do not be shy to have a side hustle. Because at the end of the day, you are doing what you need to do with your family and your household. Once again, people, my favorite saying, do not keep up with the Joneses. If your budget doesn't allow you to be part of the Joneses, don't be. Don't be. Just be you and look after your family and budget according to your family's needs and not your needs.
Definitely people. Like we say, debt is nothing to be ashamed of. We all are in the same boat together. We all have to look at ways and means to survive in this tough economy that we are in, Erica. So we have to look at ways and means to save money, to earn extra money, and to keep head above waters at the end of the day. I mean, 6 years post-COVID, we are still facing retrenchments at an alarming rate, where there used to be 2 income earners, it's down to 1 household, and that is where we say where the extra stream income comes in, about the side hustle, where households can't even afford to budget because they've gone from 2 income earners to 1 income earner at the end of the day. So what you do in terms thereof, so yes people, just because I drive a Porsche, moenie dink I'm living the life at the end of the day nie. Veral wat jy weet, choke exams en 'n peanut butter broodjie om daai Porsche se installment per maand te kan bekostig. But shine cut egg shine at the end of the day. Nobody needs to know your business at the end of the day or how you make it, people. But debt is nothing to be ashamed of. As it is in this country, you need to have credit in order to survive. There's good credit, there is bad credit at the end of the day. And that will be next week's topic that we will be discussing with you. How to read and interpret your credit profile, because we've come to know, Erica, that people do not understand how their credit ratings works, how their credit profiles works. People have this thing of blacklisting, and they don't know what all falls under the category of blacklisting. People have this thing about credit scoring, because they have this thing about clear score. Daar is nie so 'n ding soos clear score nie, mense. So that is what we will be educating you on next week's segment. So please do stay tuned. Tune in every week for the session, because that is what we are here for, to financially educate and empower you so that you are able to make wise decisions, so that you are able to survive in this tough economy. So if you feel that you do need the help, people, Anton Partners are saying we are here for you. Contact us on 021-202-9600, www.anton.co.za. Our offices are 8 Rubik Street, 14th floor, 1403, and we are open from 8 in the morning until 3:45 in the afternoon, Monday to Thursdays, and 2:15 on a Friday. Every Saturday we are open from 8 until 12. So tune in to next week's session again, people. Thank you so much for allowing us to get into your space and allowing us to educate and uplift you.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. And then I also want to say, if you're not sure how to do your budget, or to make a budget, to work out the budget, you're most welcome to contact us, when we can assist you and show you how to do what is right
Free of
you.
charge.
And no charges there. Consultation free.
Thank you, babes.
Thank you.